we are going to set up a success calendar. And the success calendar is just a simple worksheet where you're going to look at your week and you're going to kind of plan out the things that you need to achieve during the week. So your lead generation, things that, like the team meeting for the office, appointments that you typically schedule, and those kind of things. So here's a great example of kind of breaking that down and doing that. What we did here is Sunday is an off day. So this person doesn't work on Sundays. Monday is a telephone day. If you go back to this, they're available by phone. And then right here is a lead generation spot. So they're setting some time aside to generate business. Now, remember, if we come back up here, in order for us to achieve our goals, this person who had 100% of their listings was going to have to come from their effort because they didn't have some coming from their sphere of influence. They have to generate 6 hours of lead generation a week in order to achieve their 2 appointments to achieve their goal. So right here is about an hour and a half session. Here's an hour and a half session. So this person would need 2 more times in their calendar to be generating business. But understand, if this person doesn't have any business coming from their sphere, they probably don't have a lot of other appointments going on either, which are signified by these darker shaded ones are appointments that they may already have or they're pre-slotted for. If you're already, generating quite a bit of business and you kind of have consistent appointments from your sphere of influence, then most likely, this number is not going to be 13. This is going to be a 6, which would make this a 30, which would make this 6 hours would go to 3 hours, and you would have 2 hour-and-a-half times to generate. Now, I know that if you've seen people talk about lead generation, and you see them talking about, the best practice is to get in the morning, start at 8:30, call till 10:30, 5 days a week. The truth is I've been coaching a lot of people a long, long time on lead generation through telemarketing, expireds, and for sale by owners. I don't know anybody that calls 5 days a week, 2 days for 2 hours a day. I don't. I know a lot of people that put it in their schedule, but they don't really do it, because here's the truth. You get a listing appointment that says, I want to meet you at 9 o'clock. You're going to go to that appointment. You have a buyer who's under contract and they need to do their inspection and they scheduled it at 8:30 on a Tuesday. You're going to go to that inspection. So the problem is it's an unrealistic and unsustainable calendar, in my opinion, to generate 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. So when I'm working with somebody, I usually coach them to do 2 sessions, no longer than an hour and a half. If you're lead generating longer than an hour and a half, your energy is going to fall apart. You're going to get tired, you're going to get worn out, and you're not going to be great on the phone. You're not going to be focused on what the customer's saying. You're going to be focused more on just trying to get through the 2.5 or the 2 hours that you're dialing. So really, really focus on no longer than an hour and a half at a time. Quality over quantity, right? We want to connect with people on the phone. We want them to hear that we care about them. So in this calendar here, this is available by phone. This is available by phone. This is an appointment. Here's an appointment time in the morning, an appointment on Saturday morning, open house Saturday afternoon. That's this person's schedule. These other lighter shades of gray, I apologize. I changed the color metric on here, and it when I did that, it kind of blanked out the differences of the colors. But all these lighter shades are the person's personal time, right? This is the time that they are kind of unavailable, and we'll talk about that later. So a very clear calendar: in the office to do paperwork, in the office to work, lead generation, and then they have pre-slotted appointment times and times for open houses on the weekend. Very effective calendar, right? So one of your exercises this week will be to really focus on a calendar that you can follow continuously each week, It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but ideally your lead generation times are the same 2 times every single week, and you don't change them. Okay. You don't change them. You just stay focused on those, because we want to develop the habitual behavior that Tuesday at this time for an hour and a half, I'm making my calls. Thursday at this time for an hour and a half, I'm making my calls. So whatever those times are for you, make your calls. One other thing I want to touch on this is people ask all the time, they say, when is the best time to call? The truth is, the best time to call, obviously, is in the evenings between 5:30 and 8 o'clock at night, because people are home and they may answer the phone, right? They're not necessarily at work. But the reality is that is the worst time for us as human beings, because that's when we're home. That's when we're tired. That's when we're worn out. That's when our energy's low. So it may be the best time to get somebody to answer the phone. It's typically not the best time for us to be at our best. So we prefer to teach people to call during the mornings. Now, I'll tell you, some people will call during the afternoons around lunchtime. I find that to be the lowest time of conversion. People tend to, be busy at lunch, trying to eat their lunch, get back to work. They don't really want to have a conversation with you. The morning time is better. 8:30 to 10 seems to be a good time. The other time that's a great time to call is Saturday mornings. Not too early, but around 10 to about 12 is a good time to also call.